another episode. And since it's October, we got to get into scary movies.
It's Halloween.
Yeah. So, this episode we're talking about a movie. Well, two movies. One that Luke and I both really like, and one that we don't like very much. And
No.
but they're about the same exact thing.
The same thing. They're the same. Yeah. It's a remake episode.
Yeah. So
which I don't think we've ever done.
So we're talking about Carrie, and we haven't done this yet, but there was another Carrie I found out that was made in 2002, but it was a TV
did Stephen
movie.
King make it?
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't look too much into it. I just saw that it was a TV movie made in 2002. But the 1976 one and 2013 are the two main Hollywood Carrie movies. But before we get into that, we've seen some movies since we last podcasted.
Yeah, as usual. You know what's coming.
So, Luke, what have you seen lately?
It's a recap time. Yeah. So theater-wise, 2019 releases. Most notably, I saw Ad Astra a couple weeks back, and I don't think you haven't seen this yet, right?
No, I've heard great things.
Have you? Yeah, I highly recommend you see Ad Astra. Best movie I've seen in 2019.
Really?
Just an incredible film all the way through, and it's probably my favorite Brad Pitt performance I've seen ever. Better than Tyler Durden. It's just such a down to earth psychological study of human beings, but with the biggest space budget ever.
But it's not so down to earth.
It's so big and looks so awesome all the way through, and its subject matter and narrative kind of justifies having the budget, you know. They kind of work hand in hand with having kind of a down to earth narrative with such a big space epic at the same time. Yeah, in that sense, I've never seen anything quite like it. I'm not as into space movies that are more high concept. I'm not a huge Interstellar fan, for instance. But I think something like Ad Astra, where it's really truly was a character study with a lot of great acting and depth in the performances. I thought it was just truly unique because of that, and just something more up my alley, because I more appreciate character and psychological studies, more about rather a micro view of humanity rather than the macro, which in a space movie, I think it's really a ballsy choice to do something like that when your budget is so huge, to really try to explore the depths of a character. And I think Ad Astra just does it really beautifully, while also using its tremendous space atmosphere as a tool for character study. Highly recommend Ad Astra. I think you'd like it a lot. Definitely see it in theater because space and all that.
It's always better to see in the theater.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when I saw the trailer for that, I was interested, but I also thought it looked like it might be another Interstellar, which I do like Christopher Nolan, but Interstellar is something I absolutely hated pretty much.
Yeah.
I just didn't care for it at all,
no,
I guess. But
no.
I mean, Brad Pitt in this and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood this year.
I think he's having a great year. And I think it's Ad Astra has the same DP as Interstellar. So in a way, I think these can be mixed up in a way, or just look like the same thing in a way. But to me, they're very different films. I have the utmost respect for one, and the other I kind of get a headache when I think about. So, one of my favorite space movies that I've seen in a long time.
Wow, awesome.
Love it. It's at the top of my 2019 list now. We'll see how long it stays there because there's a lot more coming out in the next couple
So
months.
much.
But I feel like I have seen a lot of good ones coming, so far. And when I saw this, I was like, all right, I can't even lie. This is the best movie I have seen this year for sure. I'm putting it, I am putting it above The Beach Bum. As much as I love the stoner comedy, The Beach Bum, this is a far better film.
I was gonna say I didn't think anything was gonna beat The Beach Bum for you this year, but
that's what I wanted to. I wanted to like be headstrong and be like, I love The Beach Bum more than anything. Nothing will ever beat it. But I think it's gonna get beat by a lot of things coming up because a lot more maybe the serious movies probably. But it's all right. I'm letting go of my Beach Bum adoration.
You're a strong man.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Hollywood loves to just stack all the best movies of the year in the last few months.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I'd say other than that, there's that's probably the most noteworthy thing. I have been watching a lot of movies lately, trying to get more into horror, but I thought that's the most important thing for me to bring up for sure.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I guess along those lines, I just recently saw another 2019 movie, The Art of Self-Defense.
Ooh, yes, Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I heard that's an interesting one.
Yeah, I actually I really liked it. I wasn't sure going into it. The trailers seemed all right, and I heard it was a more of a dark comedy. But yeah, I actually really liked it. It took some. It seems on the surface like a basic movie of this scrawny guy gets beat up and then wants to take self-defense classes so that that doesn't happen again.
Right.
But it's much more deep than that, and it takes some turns that I guess I didn't really expect. But it made me like it a lot more. So yeah, I would recommend it. It became one of my favorite movies of the year so far.
I've heard it kind of starts out a little satirical, but then gets darker as it goes on.
Yes.
Yeah, like you could like further into the film, it takes a tone that wasn't in the trailer, like a much darker tone. Yeah.
Yeah, from the trailer, it just seems basic. Yeah, okay, you get it. This guy is just really weak and tiny, and he's Jesse Eisenberg. And he wants to get tougher and take these self-defense classes and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, then it takes some turns, which I was really I didn't expect, but I was really in for. And
nice.
Yeah, it's a slow burn, but it's definitely, I think it's funny, and it's worth it in the end. Yeah, I would say I would recommend it. It's different than most comedies. It's probably not for everyone. Some people probably won't like it because it's a little bit slow and some things are a little off the wall. But I liked it for that. Yeah, that's Art of Self-Defense. And then also, since it's October, I've been trying to get into more, I guess, unique horror movies. Unique as in not like the typical ones, but I've started to watch some Dario Argento movies.
Nice.
Which finally I've seen some. And so, yeah, this month already I've seen Suspiria, Inferno, Deep Red, and and Opera.
Four Argentos.
And, yeah.
Oh, so
and I still have a couple more that I want to finish by the end of the month. So
wow, on the Argento train.
Yeah, the Argento train, and yeah,
I've only seen
so
Suspiria.
far they've been great. Really?
Yeah, been meaning to rewatch that one and also see more. I just haven't gotten to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you have Amazon Prime,
they're all on there.
There's a good amount on there. Yeah,
shit.
I think I saw Inferno, Deep Red, and Opera all on.
All right, I'll have to do it this October. I'm looking for more new horror movies to watch.
Oh yeah,
the Criterion Channel has that Jacques Tourneur.
Yes.
Like The Leopard Man and Walk with a Zombie, which just looks awesome. I'm so happy they did it. Like, I've heard nothing but good things about all those. I heard they're all masterpieces, and I think they're all like an hour and, you know, a little over an hour, like not much. So yeah, I think I want to do like a lot of those because I heard Jack Tournier is just brilliant, like one of the best. And I know we watched Nightfall, right? We talked about Nightfall, and Nightfall was pretty awesome. So yeah, build that Jack Tournier list.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, they seem like nice, like concise, fun, old classic horror movies. Some of those. I didn't know they did this, but Criterion on YouTube will release like little teasers of new collections that they're adding to the Criterion channel, and that was one of them. And just watching their previews for like the Leopard Man and Cat People and stuff like that, it got me excited to check out those older classic ones too.
I can't keep up with that Criterion channel, man. I just can't.
I know. Yeah, it's so tough.
I really feel swamped with all the streaming.
There's too much to watch.
The streaming movies.
Yeah, that's why I have to like make myself a list of like October watches, what I want to watch now that it's like Halloween time. Gotta watch all the horror movies, so only watch those. Limit myself to that. Yeah, because otherwise I just cycle through so many things I have to watch, and then never watch as much as I want to because I can't decide.
Plus, there's all the ones, the horror films you want to rewatch every year. Like, Halloween's a big it's a big tradition holiday where you got to watch Halloween on Halloween and stuff like that.
Yeah, Halloween, Psycho,
and plus,
for me.
But I do have all the Psycho is for sure one. You know, I have to have a night where I watch Psycho alone and freak out every time, like,
and then not take a shower.
Can't believe just remind myself how scary Psycho is each time. I actually started like a Francis Ford Coppola horror movie that was made in like 1963 called Dementia 13.
Oh my god, I've never heard of that. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, it's something. I didn't finish it. I had to go, but it's like really short, and it almost feels like a Coppola student film or something like much smaller than the rest of his movies, but very much feels Psycho inspired.
Nice
in ways. So I think you'd like it just for that. I think there's a whole genre of horror movies just like in the 60s where everyone's trying to copy Psycho.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
nice.
That'd be interesting to check out eventually.
Cool, yeah. Yeah, and we're going to be doing a couple horror episodes of the podcast here this month too, in honor of Halloween. So yeah, I'm excited to go down more of a horror genre road trip, I guess.
Yeah, whoa. Will we return? Who knows?
Who knows?
Nobody knows.
All right. Well, Luke, do you have anything else to add, or should we just jump into the carries?
Yeah, I guess we should get into the carries.
All right, cool.
Carrie A and Carrie B.
Carrie B minus, yeah.
Carrie B minus.
Yeah, so I guess, let's just get into it now. We both rewatched the original Carrie, the Brian De Palma film from the 70s. And then we also, for the first time, watched Carrie from 2013, starring Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yes. Super modern Carrie, like with everyone from today who's huge now is in it.
All the hottest teen stars from 2013 are
yeah. The teeny bopper Carrie.
Yeah.
It's the best way to describe it.
Should we start off with the good Carrie before we get into the bad
Right,
Carrie?
because you can't really describe the bad Carrie without describing the awesome Carrie first, you know?
Yes.
Otherwise, the bad Carrie makes no sense. You know, you're like, why do you hate on it so much? You know, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And if you saw the 2013 Carrie first, you probably wouldn't want to go back and watch the 70s Carrie. But there's so many reasons why you should just watch the 70s one and never watch the 2013 one.
Yes, we love, everyone know, I think we probably talked about Carrie on this podcast good amount.
Yeah.
We like the 70s Carrie here.
And we talked about De Palma.
We like Brian
too.
De Palma a lot, and this is one of his best films for sure.
Yeah. I would say this is probably my second favorite De Palma film after Blowout. Another one we talked about, starring Sissy Spacek.
Yes.
Who is amazing in this movie. But yeah, Luke, I mean, I guess what are your general opinions on Carrie? It's probably it's got to be one of your favorite horror movies, as it is mine.
Yeah. It's probably it's in my top 20 movies ever for sure.
Wow, awesome.
And yeah, so naturally, when I was watching this movie last Saturday night alone, I was just enthralled by all of it, as nerding out over every scene, as I naturally do when I really like a movie, just like looking at each scene and be like, this is what he did here. Yes, that works.
Yes.
That works a lot. I like what he did here. Just like each scene in this movie is like a piece of art to me, almost like I've just masterfully constructed in just tone and character to kind of just create the horrific, to lead to the horrific conclusion. Yeah, just I love the score. I love the kind of corny tone from all the characters that probably once we get to the new Carrie probably explains for the changes that were made. Yeah, and I just think it's just a great character dynamic throughout, and just so scary and so awesome.
Yeah. What I love about Carrie too is it's not like a straightforward horror movie too.
Yeah,
it all builds up in this haunting way.
Exactly.
And Sissy Spacek is so good in that, like she's perfect in this role too.
Yeah, she almost seems like it's almost like they casted the rest of the people to be much older than her, so that she stands out as the younger, fearful one in the high school dynamic.
Yeah,
because she just seems so much younger than everyone, just like a child, very innocent child.
Innocent, yeah.
Yeah, one of the best high school movies for sure. I was thinking about this the other day. Just about movies that cover high school and do the dynamic of high school. It's like there's like this Back to the Future, super bad. I recently watched Peggy Sue Got Married. That's good at this as well. Carrie really does the whole wanting to be accepted in high school theme, as well as anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the other high school kids feel more real too. Like I feel like there's a lot of movies like this, including the newer Carrie, where the high school students feel like way over the top. Like they're just like these evil, crazy, like cartoon villains or something.
Yeah.
And in this Carrie, they just seem like shitty high school students that exist in high school.
And there is I think an evil side to them, I would say, especially when their plot to sabotage Carrie at prom unfolds. But I think that since De Palma's tone is so just so focused throughout, I just think I think this works, just so much better than the newer one in that aspect. And plus the high school kids are just way better at in it, very much more committed to the single direction.
Yeah, young John Travolta.
Yeah, so good.
He's great in it
He's
too.
so good
Yeah,
in it. Yeah.
and then Nancy Allen, who's in quite a few Brian De Palma movies too. Um, yeah, I'm not sure who plays Sue and her boyfriend, but they're also great in it. Yeah, it just
Sue's going with Billy Nolan to prom.
Billy Nolan.
Billy Nolan.
Yeah, it's it's a great great high school movie, that's for sure. And it's paced so well that it's at times it feels like it's a slow burn because it's all leading up to prom night, but nothing feels like it drags on.
Nah,
It all
nothing's like wasted.
just
Everything's
builds.
used.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, like each scene is like feels like a piece of art. Like the opening shot, just from the opening shot when the
Yeah.
pan through the locker room, you're just
They're like frolicking in the
immediately
locker.
like, this is so good. Like, oh my god. I love
Yeah,
this movie. And
they make high school showers seem like amazing.
yeah, like just little things like that just turn this movie into almost like a series of short films, with where each
Mm-hmm.
scene has so much dedicated to it. Like
Yeah.
like Travolta's entrance, like that is a single scene.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like jamming to the music, and then he drives side by side with all the other people. It almost feels like American Graffiti, and you
Yeah.
got the old
Uh-huh.
70s music playing, and then he gets in a fight with is it Amy Irving, Sue Snell, or is he dating?
Yes.
Yeah, where
Oh no. He's dating
Nancy Allen.
God, yeah, Nancy Allen's
Nancy
character. I can't
Allen,
remember her
yeah, and then
name.
they start
Yeah.
they start hitting each other, and you're just like, this is
Yeah.
such a bad relationship. It's just like everything in this movie, you're just invested in, and just is as important as the dynamic between Carrie and her mom.
Yes, and that the dynamic between her and her mom is so great too.
Yes.
Like you can see how the ending works between her and her mom.
Yes, as they when they die and fall into the
Yeah,
closet down beneath the earth, and yeah, her
that is
the
it's such a perfect ending
yeah,
too
and her
with those
mom
two.
being knifed by everything kind of mirrors the cross that's already in the timeout room, to put it lightly.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
and through their relationship, and then obviously like her relationship with her like classmates, you can totally empathize with Carrie, but then also see how she's like capable of such like terrible, crazy things,
mm-hmm.
and then how everything just leads up to that, and then yeah, just in the end, yeah, it's the same with her classmates as it is with her mom. They're
Yeah,
just
like they're all kind of contributing to the eventual blow up. She's kind of just a predetermined demon who's just being controlled by everyone around her.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, I mean, I guess that leads me to think of things about the new version of Carrie that I really didn't like.
Yeah, if that makes you
Um,
think of something now,
yeah,
please, before
so
you
maybe we can get
forget it.
into that too. But yeah, I guess the first thing that caught me was that I really didn't like Chloe Grace Moretz in this role, and maybe it's unfair to compare her to Sissy Spacek. But with I guess with Sissy Spacek, like I said, I could feel that she was like capable. You empathize with her, but she was also capable of horrible things.
Yeah, she
Uh,
plays like the disturbed, uh, the disturbed person
yeah,
hiding something. She's hiding a lot underneath.
and Chloe Grace Moretz felt more like I don't know, just like a normal high school girl
Yeah,
getting bullied, who then all of a sudden happened to have these telekinetic
right. And
powers.
like we said with the age thing, Chloe Grace Moretz is very much looks the same age as
Hmm.
everyone in the new Carrie. I think her and Ansel Elgort are around the same age in real life.
Yeah.
And while Chloe Grace Moretz is shy, I think it's just having that physical difference in age just makes the old one so much more effective in seeing the differences and just illustrating how sheltered Carrie is.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like the new one was just made as a dumbed down version of the original for,
Exactly.
you know, high schoolers.
Yeah,
with
very much
with
so.
two huge high school, I guess, age stars and Chloe and Ansel Elgort.
Yeah, it's almost like the new director, Kimberly
Kimberly
Pierce,
Price or Pierce, yeah, Pierce.
had really no, either didn't understand the original or just had no appreciation for the original, because it kind of takes things that made the original so great, such as the kind of nonstop spooky comedic tone almost that I'd say the old one has, almost acting like that, that's a corny old movie thing. What we're going to do is we're going to translate this to a modern tone and it will appeal to more people nowadays. And also, I hate it when high schoolers are older than they look in movies, so let's make them all look like high schoolers.
Yeah.
And just talking like regular people do, and that will make this movie, that's our take on this movie.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do with this adaptation.
Yeah, and in the original they actually have like good actors playing these side high school characters,
which is why like the seductive plan to get Carrie to prom works. Because I think it is clear that they're also assholes, too, that, something's going to happen, like, but I don't, that they're sabotaging Carrie at prom. I think it's obvious, but I don't think that's the point. I just think it's interesting enough that you see that they're conniving right to her face, but at the same time you kind of see why she's falling for it. It's the seductive part of the film, where that's what makes, I think, the prom scene at the end so great, is just how like, happy you see her at first, even though what's coming, and it's what makes what's coming so hard. There's just like an atmospheric sense that the new one lacks.
Yes, because it feels like a 2013. Let's get a bunch of high school kids to come to the theater and watch this dumb horror movie. That's exactly what it feels like when you watch it. When the original is actually a well-crafted movie and story. But yeah, they just it didn't seem like they really cared about that. They just wanted to take a well-known, I guess, project and turn it into that.
Like, let's just take all that's unique about the original and
throw that out the window.
Yeah, make it more. Yeah,
like all these other movies that are coming out now that will get high schoolers to their parents will drop them off, or
and it's not very scary either.
No,
it's
not
even like bad scary.
Yeah, and you know what? Something that I really hated, that's like a small detail, is how in the new one, Carrie uses her hands so much.
Yes.
As if she's like a Jedi using the Force or something.
It's more shot like action scenes.
Yeah. And it's almost like, I almost wondered if they did that so that teenagers going to see this could tell that she was doing this, and it wasn't like something randomly happening. It's not
confusing, like the first one, you couldn't really tell that she was moving everything because she wasn't moving her hands.
Yeah, because she was just staring around. So like, I feel like they still conveyed that really well, that Carrie is controlling all of this without moving her hands around.
She's more like, and it's more creepy.
Yeah.
It's way more creepy. The movements are they're much quicker. And I like her mom reacts to it better. Like, you know, she's like really disturbed when she just sees the door close or something like that, or the windows close. She's like, "Oh, Carrie, you're the devil, Carrie," you know. When like the modern Chloe Grace Moretz is more like trying to do her best Jean Grey impression, and she's like moving things in her room all at the same time, and
Yeah.
it's just strange, and
yeah, it makes her more look like a wizard or something
yeah.
than yeah,
Then like that she's
it was weird.
it's almost as if she's in more control, which is not as scary as the fact that you know, that her telekinesis is almost like taken over and controlled by some evil
Uncontrollable.
force. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what made Carrie so terrifying, is that it's like this power she has that she doesn't always mean to use, as, you know, as powerful as it can be, and then, you know, all of a sudden something happens that just causes her to just go ballistic.
Right.
And
I think at the end too, in the new Carrie, when she destroys the house, she almost like intentionally does it.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Which you could argue definitely in the old one she does it herself. But I don't think it's not in the new one. It's almost like she's more actively and directly doing it. Like she's like continuing to press the button to like destroy this house now. Like, you know, but in the old one it's again, like we said, it's her telekinesis doing it for her, and she's almost accepting that this is her fate at the end, is, you know, like that this is what's meant to happen. Her mom have had a fucked up life. We're going to be buried under this house.
Yeah.
In the creepy room.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Yeah, so the ending, I really I didn't like the new one so much, because I thought that the original just had the perfect ending. I don't know why you need to really, if you're going to remake Carrie, why you need to stray away from that too much.
Yeah. I mean, they do the same ending. It's just in a different way.
Yeah, I guess.
In a way that it's the same film, just a scene for scene. Just they just mess up every scene.
Yeah, you're literally just copying a great movie that's already been made.
I don't know if you've seen the Psycho remake yet.
No, I haven't.
That'd be a funny one for you to watch, because you're such a Hitchcock head. That
I've been putting that off,
like,
but
it's not as I will say this, it's not as disgraceful as this.
Really? Okay.
Because it's made by Gus Van Sant, at least, and it's like Gus Van Sant is almost like experimenting to just, let's make the exact same movie shot for shot, you know, and he uses the Hitchcock tone and everything. There's some things he does different to make it more Van Sant, but other than that, it's just him trying to do the same thing. This is just kind of ruining the original Carrie completely.
Dumbing it down is really what I feel.
Dumbing it down is a good word for it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have to check out the 1998, I think, Psycho.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn.
It's also got Julianne Moore. Yeah, and it's Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates.
Yeah, that's good to know about that one, because this one it just really yeah, that's why I feel bad if people did go see this in the theaters in 2013 without having seen the original, because then I feel like no one would want to see the original after seeing that. But yeah, it's crazy how it can be a remake but be so much worse, just by missing so many different marks.
Yeah.
But in the newer one, does it end where Sue like has that nightmare of Carrie's hand coming up from the?
They do it differently.
I can't remember that part.
She does go to the grave. She brings the rose up to the grave, but instead her vision is not of the hand. It is of her having her baby. And she's like in numerous pain.
Oh,
so in a way they're bookending it with people having babies because it's unsettling to watch women be in a lot of pain having babies.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, Julianne Moore is having Carrie at home.
Which doesn't happen in the original.
No, she shows her having Carrie, so it's almost like a little backstory. And it shows that she's having Carrie with nobody there.
Yeah, which that was a weird scene.
It's a very weird scene. Like, as religious as this person is, like, she's having a baby alone.
Yeah.
You know, she's just there yelling in so much pain, and all of a sudden she feels down. She's like, there's my baby.
Yeah, which if you throw that backstory into there, then I feel like we need a backstory for the backstory. I don't know.
Exactly. It's just a very weird opening. Because
then the De Palma one, it just starts out in high school.
Yeah, like which is a more important. So this movie's almost saying that instead of showing Carrie's period first with all the and being bullied by all the high school women, will show her mother and the origin story with her and her mother and how crazy religious her mother's so religious that she will have the baby at home, be in denial, and won't receive any pain meds for the baby. She'll just take it all and scream on her bed and roll around while she's having a baby.
Yeah.
It's just legit what she's doing.
Unneeded. Yeah.
And so then that's why they bookend it back to the ending.
Mm-hmm.
With what's her name again? The high school. High school Sue Snell having her baby, but then at the end, her the end scare is Carrie's bloody hand kind of reaches out. Then that's her vision, and then he shows a pregnant Sue in her bed with her mom comforting her. So in a way, they're like, it's more scary if her baby is ruined now or something. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
It's more about having demonized babies, which in this movie is a little just kind of rather than scary, it's more I'd say surprising and jarring, since the film doesn't have that kind of demonic tone throughout, or demonic foreshadowing, which the old Carrie does have, especially because the mom kind of talks about it all the time and kind of proclaims it. And even though you have that, like, the mom's crazy thing going on with the old movie, you're also kind of like, some of the things she has to say hold weight. That what she believes in this movie is almost kind of real. That Carrie is possessed by something. Yeah,
which all leads to. That's why I think. Well, obviously Julianne Moore is great, and I don't think it's her fault necessarily, but just the kind of the tone the movie had. But that's where I felt like in the original, it's much easier to see how it would lead the mother to do what she did when Carrie comes home from prom. And
that she has like kind of a prophetic view of her daughter that that's not good.
Yeah.
And Julianne Moore, I think in this movie, like, she like talks to Carrie like a regular person sometimes. She definitely has her crazy moments, but it shows her drop Carrie off at school and be like, I'm gonna pick you up from school like a regular, like
I'm a normal mom,
like a regular person. She says it, but then she'll like come home and be like, pray for forgiveness, Carrie. Don't go to prom, and
she's breaking down the wall in the closet.
It just goes back to like having a consistent tone throughout. When like the original Carrie, there's a lot of her mom kind of, the house is dark and she's always towering over Carrie, and she's insane all the time.
Yes.
You know, she's not insane some of the time. You know, she's not a regular mom like part of the time. She's always nuts. And
really up until the ending, she's the scariest part of. She's a scarier character than Carrie is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm. She's definitely the first really scary thing. And I think her character introduction is better, even though the new Carrie has all the effort by having Julianne Moore have a baby on her bed. I like the opening of De Palma's Carrie for Carrie's mom is she's just trying to sell, you know, she's going door to door selling, trying to raise money as a church person, what would, but yet the neighbor's kind of scared of her. Yeah. And she's also like, even though she gets donated money to shoo her off, she like still kind of creeps her out at the end by being like, I'm going to pray for you. Yeah. And
yeah, it is. I guess it doesn't try to just oversell you on how crazy she's supposed to be. It lets you figure that out as you're watching.
Right. Yeah. It trusts that you have a
brain.
Have a brain. You can infer things.
Yeah. It was definitely, the new one's definitely made for high schoolers, when the original is made to be
to go to
the
the movies on the weekends with your high school friends and
see Ansel Elgort.
Yes, Ansel Elgort. I mean, should we talk about the original prom scene? Yeah. I feel like we haven't talked about that one that much yet, because I think that's like one of the best scenes like of all time.
Yeah, I think that one's really great too, because then you really start to like feel good about Carrie. Like this guy's really nice that took her out to prom, and then the gym teacher or coach that's there, she's talking about her prom. Like, that's a great moment between them.
She has like that corny story about I don't even remember the story, but you just know that she has like a corny prom story.
Yeah, it's like she went with the captain of the basketball team, and he was super tall.
And he was so tall I couldn't even dance with him, and they're just like laughing and then who plays the her date? Who plays him?
Yeah, I don't. It's that curly blonde hair guy.
The curly blonde hair guy. Yeah, he is. He is so good.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy.
I always forget about him, and and I love how he comes back and he's like, "Hey, are you? Don't be talking to my date now." And it's all going so well, and then he's like, "You want to dance?" And what? It's all great up to there too, but then once he says, "You want to dance?" and they go dance. I'm just like, all right, here we go.
Yeah,
this is the moment of the movie. It's like, I love it. I love the De Palma spin around them as they dance. You know, as he's teaching her how to dance, and you just become so disoriented as like in a way Carrie is becoming.
Yeah, and that relationship too between Carrie and him, you can actually see, I don't know, like Sissy Spacek, you can just like see her joy that he brings. And I just like with Ansel Elgort and the other girl, I still felt like it was just him being forced to take her to prom. It's not out of the goodness of his heart or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you don't think he earns the true seductive method that this guy's doing. Not like the curly blonde haired guy, which I still think I think it's William Catt. Is it William Catt? Tommy Ross? Is it Tommy Ross? We got to stop calling him the blonde haired guy.
Curly blonde haired guy. He's more than that. Luke.
Is it Tommy Ross? I think it's Tommy Ross. Yes, it's Tommy Ross.
Tommy Ross. Yep, Tommy Ross.
Yeah.
Yep. William Catt.
Yeah, wonderful performance.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, and it really, I didn't like any of the high schoolers in the newer one.
No, and even in the old one, you're like not supposed to like. They're like, you know, bullying her the whole time, but yet you just like you remember all of them.
Yeah, their
You remember
characters
all.
are still useful for the story.
They're
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
they're really charming characters, and they're just really good at setting Carrie off. Like they do it so well. Like
Mm-hmm.
because they truly in that scene they truly do give her the night of her life before they ultimately spill pig blood all over her. Like
Mm-hmm.
it truly is like a dreamland in that prom scene, which is why I love it
Yes,
so much. Like
and it's shot like a dream so
yeah,
much
it
too.
is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the music throughout has that De Palma dreamlike quality.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And that's another thing too. Maybe it's just because of the times, but there's so many like early 2010s like indie pop music
yeah, which
using the
is
new one.
off,
It just
which
didn't fit.
sucks. Yeah,
Yeah. It's just they show up to prom and then this like like I don't know, this
yeah,
song starts playing. I was like, this just takes me out of it. Yeah.
exactly.
Um yeah, but then I guess something I read, some trivia fact I read, because I really hated the new version of John Travolta in this one. Trivia I read is that during when they're going to get the pig blood, uh, they had I think he had a sledgehammer, and the real actor actually licked the sledgehammer, and he got sick from that because there was actual pig feces on the hammer that he licked. So part of me, that's maybe dark of me.
Method acting.
Yeah, what a method actor. Yeah. Yeah, part of me was like, yeah, that makes me feel better about it. That he actually,
At least someone got sick in the making of this picture, because I feel sick right now.
yeah, because
they ruined my Carrie.
Yeah, they got what they deserved with that. But the prom scene is really the, the scene in the movie, and it
just phenomenal scene, just all the way through. And then finally she murders everyone after she becomes queen, and you got like the build up towards that is so well done with the editing and how her teacher first sees Margaret from school who's not supposed to be at the prom. She sees that she's like, oh, she must be up to something, and she like pulls her out. But then while she's doing that, the blood falls out right on top of Carrie, and
and like we said before too, the way that Sissy Spacek is just standing there wide-eyed, you can tell she's controlling all of this, just destroying everyone, destroying everything.
Yeah, and they use a fire hose and kind of do a close-up on the fire hose. Yeah. And they do the De Palma double screen.
Yeah, that was so good.
Which is just so awesome.
And it just, I couldn't take it seriously when Chloe
and the
Grace Moretz
and the modern one is like
around.
watching Jean Grey. It's awful.
Yeah, it's
not
like
scary.
I was watching a Star Wars movie where
it's not scary. It's an action scene. It's almost like, look how cool it is that she has telekinesis here. It's not like scary at all.
No.
When the gym scene in the original is truly terrifying.
Yeah, and there were some funny things that happened in the new one during that scene, but I don't know. Yeah, it just I think the main thing that bothered me was just the hand motions for everything. I just not.
And it's clear what she's picking up at all times, and she's always picking up multiple things, like she's Magneto.
Yeah. And like telekinesis is with your mind. So why do you need to use your hands to direct things if it's all with your mind?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's supposed to be a horror movie, and it just wasn't very scary.
Yeah.
Like very scary at all.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, well.
We'll always have the De Palma Carrie.
Yes.
Yes. So there's ultimately our conclusion is just refrain from watching the new one. And if you're going to watch one of them, only watch the old one. Yeah. If you want, it's fun. It's fun to compare the two. That's for sure. But that's, you have a masterpiece and then you have someone recreating a masterpiece and somehow failing. So
just ruining it.
Yeah.
Ruined it.
Ruined it.
You ruined it.
They ruined it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that concludes our Carrie our
Yeah,
Carrie double feature.
yeah. I don't have that much more to say
Yeah.
other than how much I like the old one.
Yes, but continuing in October, we'll have more. We'll have more horror movies coming at you. We're gonna watch some more. So stay tuned for that. Maybe the next two in our next episode will be two good ones, and that's
Yeah, we
not
don't
one of
talk
each.
about bad movies, I think, on this podcast really ever.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun though. Yeah, we have to bring those up too.
Yeah, like ones that are divisive. I think usually we're both
Mhm.
like, that was good. I also thought it was good. Isn't everything good, man?
Everything is so
You know?
good. Yeah.
Yeah, when
Every
that's
movie is good.
when that's yeah, when that's really not the case at all.
Yeah.
So
we have to highlight the bad ones
yeah,
to acknowledge that they are bad and they shouldn't be watched.
I hope this is not a wake up call for our listeners, but there are bad movies out there.
Yes. So be wary of that. And yeah,
watch out.
watch out. But yeah, we'll be back with some more this month, and yeah, you guys, we encourage you all to watch a lot of horror movies this month too.
Yeah,
So
definitely do. Everyone's seen the Joker right now.
yes, oh yeah, we haven't even, neither of us have seen the Joker yet.
Everyone's
but that's the
seen
talk of the town.
Yeah, everyone's seen the Joker.
I do want to see it. It definitely piques my interest.
Yeah,
with
same.
The controversy and everything.
I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I definitely won't dislike it because of the reasons that it seems like some people dislike it, of how it's disturbing.
Yeah. No, I'm very at peace. I'm very used to watching disturbing stuff.
Yes.
I just most people, from what I've heard, and people who I usually agree with, like see eye to eye with, I have a feeling I'm not gonna like it, but I just want to like see it to be in on, so I can have my opinion out
right
there,
Yeah, and it's always, I don't know, I always love a good controversial movie.
Exactly.
Seeing people get worked up about some little tiny things.
And no matter what I think, like, it is like the best actor today playing one of the most popular movie characters, or of all time. So
yeah,
just for that,
a movie about the Joker starring Joaquin Phoenix is something that
it's a good hook.
Yeah, if it hadn't been made, you're like, oh my, yeah, I definitely need to see that.
Yeah, it's almost too good to be true that it was made, and then you're like, oh, but it's also directed by Todd Phillips, and you're like, oh,
wait a second, yeah.
Well,
and Todd Phillips says he's not doing any more comedies because people judge comedies too much.
The Me Too movement,
yeah, so
ruined comedy.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he can recover from the amazing Hangover trilogy.
Oh yeah, if he can bounce back.
Yeah, because yeah, but yeah, I'm not going to be offended by it. I can probably assure that, but definitely excited to see the Joker.
Yeah, take the wife to Joker, John.
Yeah, sure. It's a great date night movie.
Yeah,
I could say like, hey, if we never got together, this is what I'd be like.
You'd be like, honey, don't you realize how insane she is? Society made this man.
Society, man.
Society ruined this man. I think we did talk about the King of Comedy recently, and Word on the Street, and we've also talked about Taxi Driver, and this is a very much inspired Taxi Driver King of Comedy type film, I believe.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. I've heard a lot of comparisons to Scorsese and Taxi Driver and King of Comedy, which I can definitely see based on the trailer and just knowing the character of the Joker. I could see where they get that. Yeah, it's almost like a sequel to King of Comedy or Taxi Driver.
It's like a comic book-ized version.
Yeah, right. Todd Phillips' version of it. Yeah, and Scorsese was in the news for comments he made about comic book movies too. So
I don't think Marvel movies are very good.
Yeah, and everyone's shocked by that. Yeah,
right. Like,
Wow, I can't believe Scorsese said that.
James Gunn's like, I gotta say something, and then
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.'s like, I gotta say something. Samuel L. Jackson's gotta say something, and I liked the link on Facebook so everyone knows. Like, I also don't think Marvel movies are art. Take that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like people act like he's saying, like, I don't know, teachers shouldn't get paid or education isn't important, like something that actually matters in society. But no, he's just giving his opinion, which he kind of has a point to, and
yeah, it's
there's nothing wrong with
shouldn't be
his
very
opinion.
surprising at all.
Yeah, why are you surprised that Martin Scorsese doesn't go to see every Avengers movie?
No.
Yeah, even I haven't seen every Marvel movie, and I don't understand them. But yeah, I've enjoyed a few of them that I've seen. But yeah, do I think that they're on the same level as Taxi Driver?
No, yeah.
No.
We're not a really Marvel kind of guys here.
No, I don't hate them. I don't understand a lot of them, though. They're more confusing to me than, I don't know, than a movie that would, I guess, confuse the general public in a way, which doesn't make me sound smart, I hope. But yeah, I just don't understand. I don't understand all the characters and who they are, what they do. I saw Endgame, and I don't know who half the people are. And yeah, it's just too much to keep up with.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah,
there's better movies to see out there.
There's a lot of good stuff out there, and yeah, and Scorsese, he makes some good points. So everyone go see The Irishman when it comes out on Broadway, I guess. Yeah, because it's not being shown in theaters. I guess they're showing it in Broadway because some movie theaters aren't going to show it. That's another controversy thing, just between Netflix and movie theaters and all that. But
I might try to see The Irishman at like a film festival.
Yeah, it's going to be shown in some theaters.
I
it's
feel
just
like I will
unique.
be able to see it somewhere here.
Mm-hmm. That's another. It's a 3.5 hour movie, but 3.5 hours to see the return of Joe Pesci, along with De Niro,
all those guys. Yeah, it's
Pacino.
That's a must see.
Yes.
It's just like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You know, it's gonna be 3 hours, but it's a very seasoned director. It's one of the most popular directors ever.
Yep.
Like you want to see it. you have to see it.
I do the thing. So Steven Spielberg is someone who's talked shit about Netflix all this time, about how it shouldn't be considered for awards or anything like this, and yet he signs this huge deal with Apple's streaming service.
Yeah.
Whereas Scorsese, he embraces sort of the change in culture, while also talking about the things that he doesn't like about it, but still embracing, the good parts about it, of
knowing that it's like it's not going anywhere. We're stuck in this.
Yes, that he has to adapt. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And
Scorsese's like 80.
Yeah. So he's done enough too. He doesn't need to keep trying to get people to come to the theaters to see his movies. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm ready for that one very much so. I watched Goodfellas this month in preparation, and we'll probably also watch Casino, because in a way this is like a trilogy. It's like a trilogy. Like the Pesci De Niro mobster trilogy.
I mean, yeah, I can't get enough of Joe Pesci and De Niro. So, yeah, from that alone, Joe Pesci coming back, you got me, you hooked me. So, yeah, The Irishman, a lot of good movies coming out soon. So,
yeah,
we'll for sure talk about that.
It's about to get really relevant, and so we can talk about all the wind down the year. I look forward to this time of year a lot.
Yes,
especially with Letterboxd. Like everyone has their 2019 lists.
Mm-hmm.
I have one. I know you have one too.
Yep.
I like looking at it. I like comparing my list to other people's.
I gotta look at some more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta look at the ones the 2019 movies that I haven't seen yet, that are either on VOD or streaming somewhere. Because now we're getting to the time where smaller movies that came out earlier, are starting to be available to see. So,
right.
yeah, if there's anything I missed in the theaters, I gotta check those out now. Yeah. Well,
all right. Let's.
We will continue.
We'll wind this down. Yeah.
We will continue our ranting and raving this month, and yeah, go see 1976 Carrie.
Yeah, it's one of the best films of all time.
And watch all the horrors.